And first, the highlights. Lagos State Government announces temporary closure of private commercial jetty terminals along 5 Cowries Creek ahead E1 racing tournament. Federal government cancels Independence Day parade. On the foreign scene, Middle East, European leaders welcome President Donald Trump's Gaza ceasefire plan. And in sport, Nigeria's Golden Eagles set to battle Ghana for under-17 AFCON ticket. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State Government has announced the temporary closure of all private and commercial jetties and terminals along the 5 Cowries Creek to facilitate the hosting of the E1 Championship, the world's first all-electric powerboat racing tournament. In a statement by the Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA, the closure will take effect from Friday, October 3 to Sunday, October 5. LASWA explained that the restriction is a safety and security measure designed to ensure seamless operations during the championship, safeguard lives and showcase Lagos as a world-class destination for international sporting events. Operations at the affected jetties and terminals will resume on Monday, October 6. The agency urged waterway users to make use of alternative ferry routes and plan their travel arrangements in advance while seeking for cooperation from passengers, operators and stakeholders during the exercise. The Lagos State Government has reaffirmed its commitment to building an agile and smart workforce with the successful completion of more than 20 training programs in the second and third quarters of 2025. The programs, organized by the Ministry of Establishments and Training, benefited over 3,000 officers across the state's public service, cutting across virtually all cadres of officers in various ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, with a focus on enhancing both job-specific competencies and generic skills that are vital for effective service delivery. Commissioner for Establishments and Training, Afolabi Ayotayo, described the development as a demonstration of the present administration's determination to strengthen human capital in the state's public service. According to him, the scope and reach of the training programs demonstrate the state government's resolve to empower officers with technical knowledge and managerial skills essential for providing exceptional services to Lagosians, emphasizing that a strong and well-equipped workforce remains the bedrock of sustainable development. In its determination to help improve power supply in the Apapa local government area, the council has donated high-powered transformers to 5 communities. Chairman of the council, Idowu Shabanjo, said the initiative was to provide transformers to communities. It's not just about lighting homes, but also about empowering families, creating opportunities to small and medium-scale businesses, and ensuring that communities make progress. Shabanjo said while more communities would benefit from this initiative, the idea is a step forward in renewing hope for a better and more prosperous Apapa. She commended community leaders and residents for their patience and support, even in times when power supply was inadequate. The council chairman urged the communities to take ownership, protect the transformers against vandals, and ensure they are properly maintained. She also assured that her administration will continue to align with the Renewed Hope agenda by focusing on infrastructure, education, healthcare, and youth empowerment. The Community Development Committee CDC Chairman Adebi Nathaniel, who spoke on behalf of the community leaders, commended the chairman for her various developmental initiatives in Apapa. While requesting that more communities should benefit from this initiative, he called on the beneficiaries to safeguard the transformers and maintain them appropriately. The Ogun-Oshu River Basin Development Authority has called for intensified campaigns and collaboration to halt human activities polluting rivers and undermining healthy living and sustainable development. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Adedeji Ashiru, made the call during a program in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to mark this year's World Rivers Day themed Clean Rivers, Healthy Communities. Ashiru, who was represented by the Executive Director, Planning and Design, Femi Dokumo, decried practices such as dumping of refuse, discharging untreated sewage, and releasing industrial effluents into rivers, warning that they pose serious risks to aquatic life and human health. He noted that rivers are often described as the lifeline of civilization, stressing their vital role in providing drinking water, irrigation for farming, hydroelectric power, transportation, and food from aquatic animals. Ashiru urged residents to avoid throwing waste, plastics, or harmful chemicals into rivers, while encouraging communities to organize cleanup campaigns and educate one another on the dangers of pollution. He also appealed to government authorities to strengthen legislation and enforcement on river protection and ensure proper waste management. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has cancelled the parade earlier scheduled to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary on Wednesday, October 1. In a statement issued by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the federal government states that it regrets any inconvenience caused, but stressed that other activities lined up for the anniversary will proceed as scheduled. These include the traditional presidential broadcasts, cultural programs, and the grand finale of the National Campus Debate. At a World Press Conference in Abuja on Monday, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, explained that Independence Day is not only a ceremonial date, but an opportunity for sober reflection and renewed patriotism. Akume noted that this year's theme, Nigeria at 65, All Hands on Deck for a Greater Nation, emphasizes that the project of nation building rests on collective responsibility. He praised President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, describing it as the guiding framework for transforming Nigeria. Akume acknowledged the hardships Nigerians are facing, but said the government is determined to stabilize the economy. He urged Nigerians to rise above political, ethnic, and religious divisions, adding that Nigeria is still a work in progress, and with renewed hope, shared responsibility, and collective resolve, the better days lie ahead. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government, warning that it may embark on an indefinite strike if long-standing demands are not met. The decision followed a National Executive Council meeting of the union held at the University of Abuja. ASU National President Chris Piwuna, in a statement, accused the government of neglecting the university system and refusing to address critical issues. The union decried the neglect of the university system and the government's consistent refusal to heed to its demands, stating that if the federal government fails to act at the end of the 14-day ultimatum, the union may have no option but to first embark on a 2-week warning strike and thereafter a total and indefinite strike. The union said 7 unresolved issues had lingered for more than 3 months, among them the renegotiation of the 2009 ASU-FGN agreement, sustainable funding for the revitalization of public universities, and the alleged victimization of members in some federal universities. Now to foreign news. European and Middle Eastern leaders have welcomed a United States peace plan for Gaza, as President Donald Trump warned Hamas to accept it. The plan, agreed by Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, proposes an immediate end to fighting, the release within 72 hours of 20 living Israeli hostages held by Hamas, as well as the remains of the more than 10 dozen hostages who are believed to be dead, in exchange for hundreds of detained Gazans. The plan also says Hamas will have no role in governing Gaza and leaves the door open for an eventual Palestinian state. But Netanyahu later again ruled this out. In a joint statement, the foreign ministers of the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, Indonesia and Pakistan say they welcomed Trump's leadership and his sincere efforts to end the war in Gaza. They said they were ready to engage with the U.S. to finalize and implement the agreement, which they said should lead to a two-state solution under which Gaza is fully integrated into the West Bank in a Palestinian state. European Council President Antonio Costa said he was encouraged by Prime Minister Netanyahu's positive response to the proposal, adding that all parties must seize this moment to give peace a genuine chance. In our sports, five-time world champions, the Golden Eaglets will tackle the Black Starlets of Ghana in the second semi-final of the ongoing Waffle B Under-17 Championship at the Stade Charles Konan Barni, Yamoussoukro, Cote d'Ivoire today. The Golden Eaglets have been in good form in the tournament, scoring 4 goals and conceding only 1, in the process amassing 4 points to top the 3-team Group B. Led by coach Manugaba, the team routed the Baby Cheetahs of the Benin Republic 4-1 in the first game last Wednesday before a goalless draw against Burkina Faso. Another win for the Golden Eaglets in today's clash will not only secure a berth in the final, but also qualification to the 2026 Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations. Today's clash will begin by 8 p.m. Then is the news at 10. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 87,000 units of single-door composite furniture for primary school pupils spread across the 6 education districts? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has announced the temporary closure of all private and commercial jetties and terminals along the 5 Cowries Creek to facilitate the hosting of the E1 Championship, the world's first all-electric powerboat racing tournament. The federal government has cancelled the parade earlier scheduled to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary on Wednesday, October 1. We also told you that European and Middle Eastern leaders have welcomed a United States peace plan for Gaza as President Donald Trump warned Hamas to accept it. And in sport, 5-time world champions, the Golden Eaglets will tackle the Black Starlets of Ghana in the second semi-final of the ongoing Waffle B Under-17 Championship at the Stade Charles Konan Barni, Yamoussoukro, Cote d'Ivoire today. For contact of the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fawalagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.